We do not know how a single atom in its entirety we do not know with all the scientific exploration. That dimension which is neither physical, nor is it electrical, nor is it electromagnetic, it is a quantum leap from physical to non-physical dimension. An intelligence beyond what you can contain in this bone box starts working for you. The smartest thing about most people is their phone. There is one aspect of the mind which we refer to as Chitta. Chitta is the innermost core of the mind, which is your connection with what we are referring to as consciousness. If your Chitta becomes conscious, if your Chitta acquires a certain level of conscious control, if you acquire, now you have access to your consciousness. What we are referring to as consciousness is that dimension which is neither physical, nor is it electrical, nor is it electromagnetic. It is a quantum leap from physical to non-physical dimension. A non-physical dimension being the lap of the existence. It is the non-physical in whose lap the physical is happening. Physical is a small happening. In this cosmos, not even 2% or not even 1% is physical, rest is non-physical. This non-physical dimension, in the yogic terminology, we use a specific sound which is connected with that dimension. Today it's all very highly distorted. We call this Shiva. That means that which is not. When we say Shiva, we are not referring to some man sitting up there. We are talking about a dimension which is not, but it is in the lap of this dimension, everything that is happens. So if your Chitta becomes even mildly conscious, your ability to not only communicate an idea or a thought, even to deliver something is possible. Physically deliver something is possible. One big problem is, our education systems are such, we have glorified our thought to such a place. First, to bring that down itself will take time. To make them understand the stupidity of their thought, it will take a whole lot of time. Because everybody thinks they're smart, but actually the smartest thing about most people is their phone. So because your thought process is just an outcome of the limited data that you have gathered. It doesn't matter if I've read the libraries of the world, still it is too limited compared to what it is, what the creation is. With all the scientific development, we still do not know how a leaf really works. We do not know how a single atom in its entirety we do not know with all the scientific exploration. So that should be humbling enough for everybody to know that we know how to use things, but we do not know what it is. It will take lifetime of attention to even grasp the fundamentals of what it is. So if people are willing to first of all understand, like the whims of their heart, you just dismissed as dumb, okay? If they also understand the so-called smartness of their thought process and emotion is quite dumb, now it becomes easy. It becomes easy to train people that communication it's not like, now I want to generate this thought and give it to you, not like that. Things will happen to you before you think. What is best for you will simply happen to you even before you articulate in your mind. You don't have to ever think what you want to become, how you want to be. Life will just arrange itself. An intelligence beyond what you can contain in this bone box starts working for you, and it'll work. You've heard of Ramanujam and others, just opened a window with their Devi, and he becomes that kind of a mathematician, which is, even today after 1 century, they're still trying to figure out what he said.
Alright then, we all heard Sadhguru telling us that 99% of the cosmos is no manifest. Actually, it is not alone Sadhguru saying this. Today, modern physicists are even saying that this unmanifest is the most powerful. And even today, the modern science is proving to us that the entire existence is just a vibration. So now coming to the 4 dimensions of mind, that is Buddhi, Manas, Ahankara and Chitta. Chitta being that dimension which once touched As said by Sadhguru, we don't even have to think of something. Life will just arrange itself effortlessly. But wait, if this is so, what about our thoughts and thought process? Or how can we touch Chitta? Can we really do it? Is it possible? So let's delve a little more deeper into it. So now, actually, like 99% of the cosmos is vibration or energy. Similarly, our thought process is also a vibration. Whatever people think of in their life, whether it is to grow a business, build a house, or something else, first of all, people will focus their energy towards that something through action and then starts working towards it. If their action is incisive enough, then their thought becomes a reality. This is the usual way to people function in the world. But what if we know how to infuse or empower that thought with a certain dimension of energy? In other words, what if we have some mobility in our energy beyond the physical body? And if that mobility becomes a conscious process, then do you know that just by sitting, we can make our energies go somewhere else? But wait, let's not go into this fancy idea of sitting and moving energies. Let's understand this a little more deeper through an analogy. Now imagine that you have got a blackboard to write something, but that blackboard has full of stuffs written on it. What will you do? If you want to write on a blackboard, first of all, you have to wipe it clean, isn't it? Only then you will be able to write something clearly. If a millions of things have already been written on it and then we also write something else on that, nobody can figure out actually what we have written. And after some time, even we cannot figure out what we have written. Yes, so first of all, we have to clear the space and then generate a thought consciously. Similarly, if people have cleared their space and then have a thought process, then this thought really matters because this has come from a conscious process. Now, once this thought is on like this and it is held in that clarity, it can be infused with that energy of which we talked earlier. And if we generate the thought in our mind this way consciously, and if it is single pointed, then it will find a way in the world to manifest itself. That means it will manifest itself naturally. Now, this proves that thought itself is a reverberation and energy. You cannot think of generating a thought without energy, isn't it? It is just because it is happening in such a haphazard way, maybe it is not manifesting, but when your mind becomes single pointed, it is a powerful instrument. That is why in Indian culture we often see our elders saying that do not ever utter a single word when you are very much angry, because that time our mind is very single pointed, and if at that time we utter something unpleasant, it is very easy to manifest itself. So just be conscious enough. And now take an experiment in your day-to-day life. Look at yourself, your entire day. Is your thought conscious, or it is just an outcome of a million things that have already been written on you? So remember that everything we as a human being have created in this planet has first found its expression in the mind, and then it has only got manifested in the world. So if we are concerned as to what we have to create in this world, it is extremely important that first we have to learn to create right things in our mind. And now if we bring our mind to a certain level of organization, automatically our body, emotion and fundamental life energies will get organized in that direction. Once all these four dimensions of ours are organized in one direction, then anything we wish will happen effortlessly. In other way, we are able to touch that dimension, that is Chitta. Only it can happen if we are conscious enough. So just experiment this in your day-to-day life. But one question might be coming, that how can we practically do it, right? How can we practice conscious thinking in everyday life? Well, there are two ways. The first way, we all have heard Sadhguru speaking about it in majority of his videos, and that is faith. Now you might have heard people who have asked for something and it literally comes true beyond all the expectation. But faith only works for people that are not thinking people. But today in this world, we have become so much thinkers, including you and me, that we cannot entirely rely upon faith, because it can happen in our thinking mind that even God comes and we are not able to recognize Him. We will even question Him whether you are a God or not. When our mind has become this much overthinking, this much self-engaged, then we cannot entirely rely on faith. So now what about us? So here comes the second way of aligning our body, emotion and energy, and that is commitment. Yes, you heard it right. If we simply commit ourselves to create what we really care for, no matter how much we know, how much knowledge we are having, doesn't matter. If we simply commit ourselves, once again our thought will get organized in a way that there is no such thing as whether it is possible or not. Now comes no hurdle in our thought process, and our thought flows freely towards what we want. Once this happens, making our thought actually happen in reality will naturally follow. So to create what you literally care for in your life, there are two steps to it. First and foremost thing is that what you really want must be well manifested in your mind. And second thing is you have to be literally committed to what you want. And that is why, first of all, explore what is that you truly care for. Once that is clear and you are committed to creating it, now there is a continuous process of thought in that direction, which is actually coming through deeper dimension of you. It is not just coming out roughly by your analytical mind. It is coming from the deeper dimension of us. And once we are able to maintain such a stream of thought without changing direction, then it will definitely manifest itself as a reality in our life. So now winding up, please see that you are at different levels of attention at different times of the day. If you're doing your work, you are at one level of attention. If you are doing your meditation, you are at different level of attention. If you are eating something, then you have different attention. If you are watching a video or something, then you are in a different level of attention. That means your level of attention are different at different times of the day. And whatever the peak attention that you have had in your life at any time, that is still not it. That means it is just a small part of it. We are capable of much more attention. And so the very first step of even thinking spiritual came to our life is because of a certain level of attention. If we pay much more attention to everything, above all, if we heighten our ability to be attentive, then it could be used in miraculous ways. It could really create an alternative source of energy. So hope now you understood that what was the actual intention and the main concept or the main core of this video, and you really found this video meaningful. And if yes, do not forget to give it a like, share and subscribe. And up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskaram. And yes, don't forget the two-step process. First is identify what you literally care for, and second is commit yourself in manifesting that. So now winding up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskaram.